The notes for 3.3, the angles in a triangle equal 180. This is the only fact you need. So here are your angles. You have angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. They are inside the triangle, and if you add those three together, you get 180. Los ángulos en un triángulo equivalen a 180. So what you want to do, this works only for angles, not sides, just angles, is you want to add the angles together, and then you want to subtract from 180. So here's my fancy iPad calculator. So we have 15 plus 70. That gives me 85, and I'm going to subtract the 180, and that means that x is going to be 95. If you need or want an equation, you'd have 15 plus 70 plus x is equal to 180. Here, 15 plus 70 is 85 plus x is equal to 180. And then to get x by itself, you'd have to subtract 85 on both sides, and that's where 95 is coming from. In the second example, you have 54, you have this 90-degree angle, and here you have x. And you have to remember that this box means 90. So we're going to add 90 plus 54 plus x is equal to 180. Subtract. When you add, you get 90 plus 54 gives you 144. And then we're going to subtract that, and when you subtract that, you have 180 minus 144, and you get x is equal to 36. In the third example, the first thing you have to realize is that you have three triangles in this picture. So here's triangle 1, here's triangle 2, and then the third triangle is this whole thing. I'm going to start with triangle 1. And the only reason I'm starting with triangle 1 is because here we have two numbers and one variable. In this triangle, we have two variables and one number. So it's best to start where you have less work to do, which would be triangle 1. So we have 22 plus 74 plus x is equal to 180. 22 plus 74 gives you 96. So we have 96 plus x is equal to 180. Subtract from 180, and you get x is equal to 84. So I'm going to fill in that 84 first into my picture. From here, you have a couple options. So you could look at the whole triangle. I think that's the more difficult of the two choices. Here you have a straight line, and hopefully you remember that a straight line equals 180. So 74 plus z is equal to 180 because of a straight line. When you subtract 74 on both sides, you get 106. So this angle here would be 106. Now that you have 34, 106, and y, now we can figure out triangle 2. So triangle 2 is still going to add up to 180. And we have y plus 140 is equal to 180. And we subtract, and when you subtract, you get 40. So this triangle added up to 180, this triangle added up to 180, and the whole triangle should add up to 180 as well. And in order to check that, I'm going to add these angles. So the first angle in the bottom left was 122 plus 84 for the top plus 40 for the top, and then the bottom right was 34. And I see that I still get my answer of 180. For the last one, here you have the angles are represented with algebraic expressions, meaning that they have x's involved. but the angles should still add up to 180. So the first angle is x, plus the second angle is 3x plus 6. The third angle is x plus 14. That has to equal 180. Collect your like terms, and you have 3, 4, 5 x's plus 20 is equal to 180. Subtract 20 on both sides, so you get 5x is equal to 160. And then your last step would be to divide, and 160 divided by 5 is going to be 32, I hope. 160 divided by 5 is 32. If I wanted to, I could plug back in, and that would tell me that this angle is 32 degrees. If I plug in 32 here, 32 plus 14 is 46. And then the last one would be 32 times 3 plus 6. And that gives me 102 for that top angle. The whole lesson, the angles in a triangle are going to add up to 180.